So you've built your lead magnet, your free offer. You put together a landing page with clear and simple messaging. Now what? Now you have to drive traffic to that landing page. But how do you do it? There are two ways you can drive traffic to your landing page. There's the free content way and there's the paid content way. Let's talk about the free content way first. Free content is your social media posts, your articles, your blog posts, your videos on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, your posts on Twitter, your posts on LinkedIn, your posts on any other social media platform that is there with traffic already. The free content is your way of showing the world that you know what you are talking about, that you are an authority on the subject, that you are capable of solving problems that people have in the world. The way to build your free content traffic is to look at what other creators are already building, creating, and then following in their footsteps by doing your own take on their idea, solving the same problems that they're talking about, but maybe in your own way, using your own method, and then putting it out there. A lot of the times, business people who are starting out, they feel unsure or afraid of posting the same content, thinking that that solution's already been done, that problem has been solved, this creator has already been talking about this kind of stuff, this business owner, founder has been has become an expert in these topics, and then they kind of stop themselves from posting free content, solving problems for people in their specific areas of expertise. And that kind of thinking prevents you from pretty much getting free leads coming into your business. One way to think about it is not whether the problem has been solved or somebody else is already an expert, so people should go to that person. It's the wrong way to think about it, in my opinion. The best way to think about it is this: your take on this particular problem could be just what somebody else is looking for to help them understand what the problem is and to help them understand what the solution could be. Your unique point of view, your unique experience, your unique story about solving these problems, providing solutions, coming up with ideas, epiphanies, and all of that stuff could be just what some other people need in order to solve their problems and then get ahead in life. So when you are creating content, free content that solves these problems, even though it's already been solved, you are still doing other people a favor, but giving different perspective by showing that there's a different way to look at things. So preventing yourself from actually doing that, you're doing a disservice to everybody else. So this free content is how you drive traffic. The way to do this, when you create your free content, you will solve a particular problem, provide a solution, a quick solution in your content. So for example, let's say you write a LinkedIn post on how to make your team, how to give feedback to your team as a group, right? So you come up with the how-to. These are the five steps that you need to follow. These are the things that you need to mention to begin with. This is how you start out. This is how you finish. And then at the end, once you've solved this very small problem very easily, very kind of from your own perspective, using your own framework, using your own system, you want to call them to action at the end of your post to come and learn more about how to give feedback to team members in different situations, with different problems, with different types of feedbacks you can give by maybe checking out your webinar on how to give feedback in a team setting, on how to give feedback one-on-one, on how to give feedback in difficult situations. So you're solving one problem, and then with your call to action at the end of your free content, which is either written or video, whatever it may be, you're asking them to come and go to your page to get a solution to a very similar problem that they may also experience, or the same problem depending on the content, that has a more in-depth solution and easier to implement, quicker to implement, more effective, whatever it may be. And that's how you take the free content, you post solutions to problems, and then at the end you always call them to action, as in to come and visit your landing page, your free offer, to download, to get on your leads list if you have that type of problem which your free offer is solving. So that's the free way of getting content. This requires you to put in the time. This requires you to become a better writer, to become a better speaker, to become a videographer of some sorts, to become a creative in the free content creation space. It requires time, it requires dedication, it requires you to put out content all the time so that you can bring in the leads. There's a shortcut. The shortcut is the paid content. And paid content comes in many categories. One of them is advertising. So ads you put out on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Reddit, whatever it may be. Or you can also do ads within newsletters. So if somebody has a large following of people who are your target market, you can advertise your product or service, or your landing page rather, in their newsletter, in their weekly newsletter, whatever it may be, as in, hey, if you have this problem, come check out this solution that I have as a lead magnet, my free offer for free. So in the paid content space, the content that you create is advertisements. And it could be videos, it could be images, it could be posts, it could be just blurbs, whatever it may be. So that's paid content. And then you pay somebody else to post that content to their users. And in big advertising in social media space, LinkedIn, everybody who's a LinkedIn user is going to see, or a very specific section, depending on how you select your targeting, will see your ad. So you pay LinkedIn to show your content to somebody else. So the difference in free content, you don't pay LinkedIn to show your content, but you're not guaranteed that your content will be seen by many people, or the people who you want to see your content, versus paid content where you pay LinkedIn to show your content again, but LinkedIn guarantees that it will actually be shown, your content, which is your ad, and it will actually guarantee that it will be shown to at least a similar type audience that you want, your target audience that you want to see your content. Each of these content will have the call to action, and the call to action will be to go to the landing page for a specific solution. So paid content is targeted, it's more effective at bringing the right leads or the right prospects to your landing page, which you can then convert. If you do it well, if you write your paid content well, if you have the right hooks, if you have the right enticing message, and you're solving a problem that is actually painful, then you will be able to bring in leads. The problem is, once you stop paying, the leads stop coming. With the free content, even if you stop posting, you still have this inertia that kind of keeps the leads going, because your post will still live on for a little bit longer, depending where you're posting. If it's YouTube, you could keep on bringing leads for years. Some videos still are around 6, 10, 12 years ago, and they're still popular. People are still watching them, so they still may bring in leads for you. And also, it's free. You don't have to pay. With the paid content, you have to pay. So you have to compete with everybody else who also is trying to get the attention of your specific target audience. So there's always competition, and that could drive the prices up. So paid content is expensive. Free content is free, but it's not guaranteed. So there's always pros and cons to each of these. How do you decide whether to go with free content or paid content? In my experience, I started with free content. I learned what works. I learned what people respond to, what people like, which content of mine gets engagement, and which content actually brings in eyeballs to my landing pages. Once I figured that out, once I knew that this topic is popular, this is actually a painful problem, people like my solution, they come to the landing page, and there's a conversion percentage on my landing page, so it works, so that pipeline is good. I can take that content and then I can make it into paid content and then boost the conversion that way. You can start with paid if you want, and that's actually a very quick way to test what works as well, but it will cost you money. So if you have a lot of money, you can start with paid, figure out what works, and then double down on that. If you don't have money, you should start with free, figure out what works. It will take time, and then once it works, then you can put in a little bit of money to kind of speed up the lead generation for you. So that's the free and paid types of content. That's how you drive traffic to your landing pages. If you want a roadmap on how to get your first 1,000 leads or your next 1,000 leads, depending where you are in the process, and you're looking for a system to set up and implement to go from problem to nurture to capture to lead capture to conversion, my roadmap with the link below will help you do just that. All right, I'll see you next time.